Look into the next question, children. Question number 10. Choose the correct statements related to reflection of light. So, 4 options were given and let us try to identify which one is correct. First one, the angle of deviation D of light produced is it 180 minus I or 180 minus 2I? So, we have discussed it as 180 minus 2I. So, the first one must be false. Next, the maximum value of angle of deviation is 180 degrees. Let us check whether it is true or not. What is the formula for angle of deviation as we have discussed? D must be equals to 180 minus 2I. So, to get this value as maximum, then I must be equals to 0. When I is equals to 0, then we get the maximum value of D as 180 minus 2 times of 0. Okay. What is this equals to? 2 into 0 is 0 and hence the answer is 180. Of course, it is true. So, it happens the maximum value of deviation is observed as 180 degrees. It's true. So, the statement 3 is also true. And it will happen whenever the value of angle of incidence is 0 degrees. Okay. Because I can take the values from 0 to 90 degrees. Any value it can take. Okay. Well, if it is not clear, let me explain you with the help of a diagram. This is your mirror M1. Here it is your normal. So, you can send a light in any particular direction. Maybe, so the light ray can be sent something like this, making an angle of 45 degrees. The light ray even can be sent something like this, making an angle 60 degrees. The light ray can be sent like this, 90 degrees. Okay, even here, here, here and many directions. But after which, if the light ray is sent along the normal, angle must be equals to 90, 60, 45, 30 and here 0 degrees. So, light ray can be directly incident normal. Again, the light is reflected back on the normal itself. So, I can be 0. When I is equals to 0, deviation is observed to be 180 degrees. Hence, of course, the maximum value of angle of deviation must be 180 degrees. As the value of I increases, the value of D decreases. Suppose if you place here as 30 degrees, 2 into 30 is 60, 180 minus 60 must be 120, decreased. If you place 45 degrees, 2 into 45 is 90, 180 minus 90 is 90. So, as the value of angle of incidence increases, the value of angle of deviation reduces. So, maximum possible value is 180 degrees. Now to the last point. Maximum deviation occurs when incident ray is parallel to the normal of the mirror. Of course, the same. Whenever a light ray is incident parallel, that means along the normal, then angle was found to be angle of incidence is found to be 0 degrees. When angle of incidence is 0 degrees, maximum deviation is 180 degrees. So, maximum deviation occurs whenever the light ray is incident parallel to the normal or along the normal. Hence, option D is also, 4 is also correct. Hence, 3 options are correct. What are the 3 options, children? Second, third and fourth are 3 correct answers related to plane mirror. Well, let us move to the 11th question. It is all about the statement problems. Okay, 2 statements will be given and you need to identify the correct option from the given question. So, first statement, the image formed by a plane mirror is virtual. Yes, that is true. Whenever you look yourself inside a mirror, the image formed is behind the mirror and that cannot be caught on a screen. So, no doubt it is a virtual image. Option 2, virtual images cannot be received on a screen. That is what we have explained till far. So, virtual images can never be caught on a screen. So, first option is true. Even the second option is true and second option is the only correct explanation of statement 1. So, what is the correct value, children? Statement 1 is true, statement 2 is also true and statement 2 is the correct explanation of statement 1. So, now moving to the next question, level 2 numericals. So, here 12th question, if you look into that, what is the deviation suffered by the ray on reflection in the figure given? So, some figure is given here. Okay, you are asked to find out the deviation suffered by the ray. So, actually, if you observe this, this must be the incident light ray. Here we go. This is your incident light ray and here is your reflected light ray. If this is 60 degrees, this is also 60 degrees. But this part will be angle of deviation. Can be written as D or delta. But we know the formula for angle of deviation as D is equals to simply 180 minus 2i. So, substituting the value of I here, what is I given in the picture? So, here we have I is given as 60 degrees. I is given as 60 degrees. Hence, 2 into 60 degrees. So, D must be equals to 180 minus 2 into 60 is 120 degrees or D is equals to 60 degrees. Even the answer is also 60 degrees. Hence, the correct option is option 4. So, the deviation, this is 60, reflection is also 60 and even the deviation is also 60. Because I is equals to R, 60, 60, 120, 120 and remaining is 60. So, 180. Clear? Well. So, now the 13th question. A ray of light is incident on a plane mirror at an angle of 60 degrees. What is the angle of deviation? The same. The previous problem is same as whatever. So, same problem is repeated in a different version, children. For this, let us imagine a plane mirror. Some normal drawn to the plane mirror. A light ray is incident on this plane mirror. Okay. Instead of this light ray going straight ahead, it is deviating its path and moving in this particular direction. Okay, and this is your incident ray, reflected ray and the deviated ray. So, angle I, angle R and angle D. But given that, what is given? A ray of light incident on a plane mirror at an angle of 60 degrees. So, what is the incident angle they have given that? This value I is given as 60 degrees. So, whenever I is equals to 60 degrees, the value for D is equals to 180 minus 2I or D is equals to 180 minus 2 into 60 degrees or the same value 180 minus 120 degrees. Hence, D is equals to 60 degrees. That's it. So, correct option is option 1, that is 60 degrees. Let us move to the next question, that is 14th question, children. Well, a ray of light after reflection from a plane mirror suffers a deviation of 30 degrees. Deviation, D value is now given as 30 degrees. Find the angle between the incident ray and reflected ray. So, let us imagine the picture for this. Normal drawn to this and we have an incident ray, we also have a reflected ray and yes. So, what is given? This is I, this is R and this is D. So, formula for D is D is equals to 180 minus 2I. Well, deviation, the value of deviation itself is given as 30 degrees must be equals to 180 minus 2I. Minus 2I bringing to the left side will become 2I and here left over with 180, 30 degrees moving to the right side, okay, So 2i must be equals to 180 minus 30 is equals to how much, children? It is 150 degrees. The value of 2i is equals to 150 degrees, or I is equals to 75 degrees. Okay. So you are asked to find out the angle between the incident ray and reflected ray. So this is your incident ray, this part is your incident ray, and this part is your reflected ray. Incident ray and reflected ray. You are asked to find this total value, that is I plus R. But we know that since I is equals to R, okay, so this total angle must be I plus R must be equals to I is 75, R is also 75, hence I plus R must be equals to 150 degrees. So the total angle between the incident ray and reflected ray is found to be 150 degrees. Is that okay, children? So now let us move to the next question, that is 15th question. Okay? Well.